Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your June 2023 reading. It's been quite a June so far. It's June 5th. It's actually my brother's birthday, so happy birthday to him. I have a lot of Geminis in my life, so there's a lot of air going on over here. So we're not going to do a whole lot of astrology, but I do want to talk to you guys about Venus because she is ingressing Leo today, and she will be in Leo until October. The really big thing about this is Venus will be opposite Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto went into Aquarius in March this year and will be regressing back to Capricorn in July, actually, or not in July, just in June, in mid-June, we'll be regressing back to Capricorn, and then we'll be coming back into Aquarius at the beginning of next year. But with this Venus opposition, Venus being opposite all of Aquarius energy that you guys have for the majority of the rest of this year, we got to talk about that. That's going to be a really interesting thing for you guys because relationships will be kind of a focus. Like a lot of it is going to be about how you're expressing yourself and how you're allowing others to express themselves with you as well. You may find that there are some tests that come up within your relationships, but I think that Venus and Leo is really helping us all to show up for ourselves in ways that we haven't really been able to. Mars is currently in Leo right now as well. So, this fire energy is especially with that Sagittarius full moon that we just had 2 days ago, like, things have been a little bit feisty lately. So, it's been a very interesting June so far. I'm really excited to get into your reading. I do have openings on my calendar for the second half of June. I have the 6-month readings available, and I just have a few 6-month readings available. I also have 20% off until the end of June. That even means like you can use that 20% for July appointments as well. That 20% will be over on June 30th. So use it while you can. The code to get that 20% off is SPRING, SPRING 23. Let's get a surrender card. I'm excited to see what you guys are doing for June. This is a Judith Orloff, The Power of Surrender. Let's see what Aquarius is surrendering. Oh, I like this. So we have 2 cards for June for you guys. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. So surrender to non-action. And that's kind of hard for you guys to do because you guys are like on the go all the time, ruled by Saturn, on the go all the time. The second card is surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. That's actually really super poignant with this surrender to non-action. Surrender denial and surrender to non-action. The funny thing, like I've noticed more than anything else that surrendering denial is surrendering that denial part of your life is hard to do. The acceptance factor, that's a tough journey to take. And like I was even saying on Twitter the other day, first of all, somebody asked me if I have other social media, and I do. I kind of keep a low key, like I'm on Twitter more, I think, than anything, but I do have Facebook. It's still under Fearless Intuition. I'm not on Facebook much though, but I do. There are things that are posted there. I'm on Instagram, the real Betsy with an underscore in between the and real. And so it's the real Betsy 33. All of this is in the description box too. But if you guys want to follow me, and then Twitter is Betsy 33. The E in Betsy is a 3, so B3TSY33. But I was saying on Twitter the other day how accepting things, like allowing yourself to accept what is happening in your life, because you can't control the way other people act. You can't control the things that other people do. And like, for example, like it took me a minute to come to terms with what happened to Henry and I in February. For those of you that don't know what we've been going through for the last 3 months, we were evicted illegally in February by a man that we trusted. We put our trust in him, and he even called us family at one point. And because he could not be a grown adult at 67 years old, like that literally was what it came down to. Because the whole thing could have been taken care of by a sit-down discussion, by sitting down, having a discussion, talking things through. Whether we agreed on things after that could have told, who knows how that was going to look. But like, we weren't in control of that. It didn't matter. It really didn't matter what neither Henry nor I did in that situation. We weren't going to be able to fix it because the other party refused. Do you see where I'm coming from? So like, I've had to really work through in the last 3 months of accepting what happened and recognizing that it wasn't a punishment. The other party thinks that they punished us, but we were shown a lot of love during the last 3 months, struggling to find a new place. Finally, we have a new place. We're moving in a couple of days. Great ending to the story. But the whole thing is this surrender denial. Like, sometimes if somebody doesn't want to be in your life, if somebody, if you're not supposed to be in a situation anymore or an experience anymore, and you're kind of aggressively removed from it, it's hard to come to terms with that sort of accepting that that's the fate, that's the thing. So that's a process. You really have to work with your ego on allowing yourself to see things in a different kind of perspective when it comes down to that. Because I could have easily, if it would have been an older version of who I was, I could have easily gotten into the place where I was like, this is a punishment, and I feel like I did something wrong, and what do I need to do, and like all of these things. And just sometimes shitty things happen in life. Like, that's the reality. That's the world that we're living in. And a lot of people use the words, and I've even used them, this isn't fair, this isn't fair, this isn't fair. But at the end of the day, what is fair? What's not fair? What is fair? And it's not even about learning the lessons. It's about allowing yourself to not suffer. Yes, you learn the lessons through the not suffering, but you're not here to be punished and learn things. You're here to live a life, and you're here to have experiences. And you guys, I feel like, know that more than anything. Being associated with the 11th house and being associated with the world at large and the mass, humanity at large. Very interesting cards that are coming out here. We have the 8 of Swords. I'm going to show them to you in a minute. I wanted to make sure that we got all the cards that we needed to get. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. 8 of Swords. So the beginning of June has been a little bit rough. Knight of Swords. The 8 of Swords and the Knight of Swords, this is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. Are you being really hard on yourself? I feel like this surrender denial might be that you guys are being a little bit hard on yourselves. Because you can come out of this. Being really hard on yourselves can also make you guys have a short temper normally you can detach from those emotions and, you know, it's better that way. But, you know, when you are being hard on yourself and like your expectations are too high for yourself, you can be really, you know, your temper can be really short. Then we have the world. On the bottom row, we have the sun. I love the bottom row. The 10 of Pentacles, and then we have the Fool with the Wheel of Fortune that came out together. So I love this. It kind of feels like you're telling a story here about how, like, man, I really started June like all up in my head and freaking out, and I really was just like, you know, kind of aggressive towards people or just felt a lot of tension. And then the acceptance. Like, I feel like the world is that closure. It's like the acceptance of things that have happened. You're finally, you know, it almost feels like in a way that there was this, you had to like grieve. Acceptance is a part of grief. You know, like whatever it is that you are feeling loss with, could be a number of things. I'm not going to try and guess what you all are feeling, you know, but it feels like you're you're how do I want to put this? You are overextending, well, you know, like just you're being really hard on yourself. You're overextending your energy for no reason is what it really feels like. So let's clarify. Let's clarify this Eight of Swords. The bottom row makes me feel like there's some kind of clarity after closure. I don't want to jump too far into this before we talk. Let's talk about the bottom row first before I start clarifying. The Sun, the 10 of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Wheel of Fortune. Like, I think that you are becoming clear, a little bit more clear. It's almost like you had to let go of the junk that was like restricting you, or like let go of the junk that was building up inside of you, inside of your brain. And then, you know, allowing yourself to close out cycles and allowing yourself to recognize that acceptance part. There's clarity that comes with that. The Sun is all about healing. And the 10 of Pentacles is about, you know, finding that ultimate happiness and safety and stability and family and acceptance and feeling like you belong somewhere. So I think that you are ready to start something new. And I think that just by being ready, just by putting that kind of energy out into the ethers, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is to you, God, source, the universe, whatever it is, putting that decision, that final, you're like, I am done beating myself up. I'm done overthinking this. I'm done like utilizing my energy, like overutilizing my energy for this, and I'm ready to start something new. So this feels like a really big shift. And I love the surrender to non-action, because the universe, source, whatever, is literally saying all you had to do was to admit that you were ready for something new. Here we are. And the universe is like, will you let me do my job now? Are you going to get out of the way? Releasing the attachment. You know, when I say that it's, you know, when I say that it's time to release an attachment to something, it's not about not caring. It's not about putting your head in the sand and ignoring the issue. It's not about not processing your emotions and not, you know, it's not about not feeling. When I say that it's time for you to detach from something, and even Aquarians have to work on detaching from things. Like, I know a lot of people think that you guys just have zero feelings, but that's not true. You guys have very, very deep feelings. You just don't necessarily have to show them all the time to people. You know who you are. And that's good. That's good enough. But that's the thing, is I feel like this closure is about not attaching yourself to the idea that you have to be attached to something. I know that sounds silly, but that's really what it is. And the surrendering to non-action, right? So part of this driving yourself crazy is like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to build this? Where are the seeds that are going to be planted? How is that going to happen? And the surrendering to non-action is huge. So even if you, if you know that there's a certain part of your life that it's time for that to be closed up and moving on, and you're like, I don't know how to do this, right? I don't know how to close this chapter in my life. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do to close this chapter in my life. You don't have to do, this is the thing here. So planting the seed, just making the decision is planting the seed, saying, I want something new. I want something better. I need a new start in my life that's going to fulfill me, that's going to be good for me. That 7 of Pentacles on the 8 of Swords is like, just plant the seed, dude. Like, that's what these surrender cards are trying to tell you. Just plant the seed. Okay? Just make the decision. And then after that, you can take a break. You don't have to rush those seeds. These seeds need time and water and sunlight, right? The sun's down here. There's no water in your reading yet. How are you feeding the seeds, right? So here we have the King of Swords, which is very much your energy. And we have the Hanged Man, and that's on the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is the rushing. And the Hanged Man is saying, we are not rushing a dang thing. The things that are meant to be for you will work out. Because if you listen to your soul, if you plant your seed, if you decide this is what I want to do, or this is the new beginning that I want to have, and you plant that seed and you choose for yourself, sorry, my shirt's all like twisted up. You choose for yourself, this is what I meant about like surrender to non-action. Let the universe do some things. You don't gotta always constant. Doesn't have to be a constant, right? And I think that, let's clarify this world, but I feel like the world, the closure, the ending of a cycle is truly ending that overthinking process too. I also really want you to decide to celebrate these moments in your life. Because, you know, I feel like you don't celebrate yourself enough, Aquarius. And it may be that others don't celebrate you enough either. So, you know, when you're celebrating yourself and when you are coming together with like-minded individuals that are celebrating you as well, I think that it's, things become more clear. It's a healing moment for you. So the 3 of Cups on the World. The other thing is you're also recognizing that the people that you thought were for you and were going to be around you and were coming on the next part of your journey with you probably aren't so much coming on the next part of your journey with you. And that sucks, but it also helps. It's really hard to explain that. It helps your journey when you have people around you who want the best for you. If you have people around you that are sort of just dragging you down and not allowing you to be the full expression of who you are, that's going to stifle your energy. And it's going to really, you know, it's going to be hard moving forward and getting things accomplished when you're constantly around people that don't lift you up and don't lift you up and don't lift you up and don't lift you up. Bottom of the deck is the 2 of Pentacles. We have the Devil on the Sun. We have the Strength card on the 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to show you all these clarifiers first before we talk about it. And then we have the Queen of Cups on the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. And I literally feel like going from a masculine King of Swords version to a more feminine Queen of Cups. It's almost as if the world is like the energy, the spirits here, or your guides and stuff, they're telling you that you need to get softer with yourself. Right? It's time for your new beginning comes with the intuitive push forward. I think the lessons here are really, really clear to you. For some of you, you're kind of seeing these aha moments at work, like your career, and you're like, I think I need to change this. I think something needs to change about this. For some of you, it's about the relationships in your life. This doesn't feel like a particular area of your life. This feels like a general overall closure and new beginning that's happening with you guys. And it's not even something that's bad. Like it's like, no, it could be bad. It could be really, really bad in your life. That's not what I mean. You didn't do anything. You didn't do, like, the guilt that I'm feeling inside of me right now is really weird because I didn't do anything. I'm sitting here going, I didn't do anything. Like, all I did was want to be myself and want to be a part of this or whatever, and it just didn't work out, right? So there's this amount of resilience that's happening, and that resilience is going to, with this Strength card on the 10 of Pentacles, that amount of resilience that you're giving yourself is going to help you get to that ultimate stability and happiness and fulfillment. And I think that this is that seed. This 10 of Pentacles is this seed that you've planted. And part of it might be a monetary thing, I don't think that all of you guys are thinking monetarily, but some of you are. But this feels like the beginning of something new. And so allowing yourself to accept the things that have passed, accept the things that are happening presently, and realizing that you no longer have to do the most to get the best result in whatever situation that you're doing. What you have to do is show up. Some of the decisions are going to be really, really hard for you to make. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. Some of the decisions are going to be a little tough for you to make. But all in all, it really feels like you have made your mind up on something, and intuitively you already can feel the new beginning happening. And that's what I want you to follow. I want you to follow, like, put it in your heart frequency instead of being up in your mind. I know that that's not an easy task, but putting it in your heart frequency and calling it in through that, your heart frequency is 1,000 times stronger than your mind frequency. People are always telling you to change your mind, change your mind, change your mind. And what we really need to do is drop into our hearts and feel our way through. So let yourself do that. And I'm excited for this new beginning. I can't wait even now to see what your July reading is going to look like. Like, let's just fast forward. I love you guys. Hope to see some of your faces for personal readings this month. And I love you. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.